Ciao, I'm Mario, and today I'm taking you to my garage to show you my new Lexus that I just bought.
That is not a Lexus.
Of course it's a Lexus.
Nope, it's not.
It's an LS430, like the one I used to have 10 years ago.
Is it? So this thing has been manufactured by Lexus, or at least by Toyota?
Well, it's been made by Motormax.
So, not a Lexus, eh?
Okay, I guess it's not a real Lexus, it's just a model of a Lexus, but I mean, it's kind of a Lexus.
No, this video will get more dislikes than views. It was a terrible idea.
Okay, you know what? I actually bought another motor vehicle that says Lexus on it.
A motor vehicle? That doesn't sound fishy at all.
Yeah, it's an actual motor vehicle. Let me show you.
Right, what is it this time? A vacuum cleaner?
And here it is.
A bicycle! Are you kidding us? And this thing was made by Lexus?
No. I just put stickers on myself because it didn't have any logo or anything else. I think it's made by a company called Alienozo. Yeah, it didn't have anything there, and I thought I'd put a sticker on it. I figured since I couldn't drive my Lexus, so I just put some stickers onto my bike that I drive instead of my Lexus. Regular viewers of my channel, both of them, will know that I currently do not have a driver's license, and this is why I bought a bicycle. So yes, I'm sorry to all the viewers who thought this was a car channel, because today this video is going to be about this bike. And just, you know, before you switch off, it's not just any bike, it's an e-bike, obviously, with a motor, and it doesn't just have any motor, it has a Bafang Ultra motor, which is probably one of the most powerful e-bike motors you can get. And it's certainly the most powerful you can have in a road legal e-bike in Switzerland. And when I say road legal, I mean road legal because this e-bike has a number plate. It even has a little vehicle document and stuff, because this is a motor vehicle. In Switzerland this would be called a MOFA. Motorfahrrad, which is usually one of those weird contraptions that pensioners or young kids used to drive. But MOFAs are limited to 35 kph. This one will do 45 with motor assistance. And if you're very fit, you can drive faster, but that's not me. And this, interestingly enough, is the fastest motor vehicle I'm still allowed to drive. 45 kph. I obviously had to modify it in some meaningful way, and one way was I added this absolutely amazing basket, which you may say, yes, it doesn't make you look very cool, but then again, you're on a bicycle, you will never look cool, but it's very spacious. With those bungees, they hold in my laptop briefcase, they hold up stuff, groceries, whatever. Best mod to a bicycle you can do. My bike already came with mud guards and with a parcel shelf, so I just had to add the basket, which was 20 bucks. It was basically nothing. I also added, of course, a bike lock, not a very good one, but I don't live in a high-risk area. And I added the little bottle holder that I got from my old bike, so that was basically free. The bike does have to have a mirror because, well, it is one with a number plate. Bicycles with number plates in Switzerland need to have a rear view mirror, and you need to wear a helmet when you drive them. I bought this bike mainly to commute from and to work, which in my case is about 22 kilometers one way, and it takes me about 40 minutes. I will show you a time lapse of that at the end. But enough talking, let me take you on the road and give you a few impressions of what it's like to ride such a powerful bike. So let me tell you about it just from, a driver's perspective, which I'm a car guy, I'm not into bicycles, so this is kind of a new world for me. And why don't you come along? So despite having Lexus stickers on it, this bike, I believe, is manufactured or at least distributed by a Chinese company called Alienozo, which I've never heard of. But what I've learned with bikes, that usually it's not that important who the manufacturer is, it's more important what parts are on it. And this bike has got quite decent parts. The front suspension is by RockShox, the brakes are Magura MT5Es, they are 4-piston brakes, front and rear, which is, my first car didn't even have disc brakes at the rear, and this has got 4-piston disc brakes at the rear. It's unbelievable. And in fact, it stops absolutely awesome. But the main reason why I bought this bike is that it has an electric motor, and of course, not just any electric motor, but the most powerful street legal motor you can get in Switzerland, the Bafang Ultra or Bafang M510 or Bafang G610, I believe, whatever. There's like 5 ways of calling it. I just refer to it as the Bafang Ultra. And what does the Bafang Ultra mean? Well, it's got 1,000 watts. Most e-bikes here in Switzerland have around 350 to 500 watts of power, and this thing has 1,000 watts. Plus it has a boost mode, which can deliver 1,500 watts. I'm not using it that often because either the motor or the battery overheats, so after a few minutes it shuts off. But it's nice to give you a little boost. And the thing is, it also works with a little gas handle. So if I'm going, up a mountain like I'm doing now, if I want a bit of extra boost, I just push the handle and the bike rides itself. And of course, the electric motor is the only reason why I'm able to climb a mountain like here. This is actually right in my backyard where I usually test my cars, but I've never really ridden a bicycle up here because it's way too steep for me and I'm way too out of shape and not strong enough. But with the e-bike, I can do it very, very easily. In fact, I still manage to somehow talk coherently during the climb. And I know the bike aficionados will tell me, yeah, you're not really beating the mountain like this, but I don't want to hurt mountains. I just want to get my cardio done, and up here it's way nicer roads, landscape is nicer, so I'd rather ride it up here than down in the valley with all the traffic. The motor has 5 settings of assistance from 1 to 5, whereas with 5 it delivers 1,000 watts and with 1 it delivers about 200 watts. So depending on how much you need, how fast you want to go, you can select different levels of assistance. Right now it's pretty steep, so I'm driving on 5, but I could just use a lower gear, drop it down a bit and save on battery. And saving on battery is actually a thing with this bicycle because the battery is not that large. It's only about 680 watt hours, meaning that at full tilt it's gonna run out in like half an hour. So unless you want to recharge wherever you go, you kind of have to be a bit careful if you go further distances. I think the most I've made with this bike are about 50 kilometers on one battery. This bike, being an e-bike, it's quite heavy, it's about 25 kilograms. So as soon as you start going downhill, it gets fast really quickly, and without using the motor, without having to pedal, because just the weight pulls it down. But then again, the weight also gives it quite a nice stability, and with the front suspension and the very, very good brakes, you feel really safe, even doing way too high speeds. there are two categories of e-bikes, the regular ones and the fast ones. The regular ones are referred to as pedelecs, and the fast ones are referred to as S-pedelecs, where the S stands for speed. The difference here in Switzerland, the regular ones, they are limited to 25 kilometers per hour and they don't need a registration, whereas the fast ones like this, they can drive 45 kilometers per hour with motor assistance and they need a registration and a number plate. This bike has a 10-speed gearbox or cassette or whatever term is used with bicycles, and it shifts quite smoothly. Usually e-bikes do not have that many speeds because their drivetrain needs to be strong rather than variable, because the motors will put a lot of stress on the chain and you don't want it to snap, which mine already did once. But basically, because I was an idiot, I was driving, starting at traffic lights with way too much power, way too much assistance, and basically at one point it snapped the chain and I was out of luck. But I wasn't that much out of luck because like 200 meters further there was a bike shop, so I quickly brought it there. They fixed the chain for me and it's been pretty good ever since. Now you might ask, how much does a road legal Chinese made basically no-name bike cost? Well, this thing cost me all in all 3,600 Swiss francs, which is about $3,500 US. And I think many of you will say, well, I bought cars for less. True, but the thing is, bikes tend to be quite expensive, and especially e-bikes, prices can go as high as like 8, 9, 10 grand. So for 3,600 francs, this bike is still kind of a good deal because it's quite solidly built, it has good components, it's fast, and it's road legal, which is very important to me because I'm already criminal enough as it is. And the nice thing about the e-bike, you just drive it with more assistance and then you arrive in the office and you haven't really sweated. So for commuting it's great as long as the weather plays along. If it doesn't, well then yeah, you get wet, you get really badly messed up. What do you think of e-bikes or bicycles in general, and how much have you paid for a bike? Or if you've ever had to, you know, temporarily part with your driver's license, what did you do? In my case, I personally prefer not to take public transport, so the bicycle is a great tool, and even though it's electrical, I still burn a few calories. I even have a display that tells me. For example, today I've burned 271 calories, which is not bad. So please let me know your thoughts on bicycles in general, electric bikes. Is it cheating using an e-bike to get up a mountain like I'm doing now? Write in the comments down below, and I promise the next video will be about cars and not about bicycles. So thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.